What have all these things got in common? They are all things that New Zealand leads the world at on a per capita basis. Each week on World Famous in New Zealand, we'll use history, stats and expert opinion to try to find out why Kiwis love the things we do. On this week's episode of World Famous in New Zealand, we're leading the world in having a cat. In 2015, cats are big business in the language of internet memes, but whether it's lolcats or cat macros, New Zealand youth love their moggies. But then again, coming from a country that has more domestic cats per capita than anywhere else, us Kiwi kids would love Kiwi cats, wouldn't we? Aotearoa has an estimated population of 1.5 million moggies, which means around a quarter of us have a cat. Think about it, if you don't have a cat, you probably know someone who does.
My mum is extremely fond of cats. Sometimes when we have a family dinner, she puts up a little chair by the table and the cat sits there with its own little plate of food.
Like, I go onto the SPCA website and look for cats that I could adopt.
The first wave of domestic cats that come to New Zealand arrived with the first European settlers, when they were used both as pets and as pest control.
It looks like a storm blowing up, Tom.
Yes, it certainly does, Mary.
Maybe it was the geographical isolation that engendered a strong bond between feline and human. Maybe it's the therapeutic benefits, or maybe the bond has been strengthened by notable Kiwi cats too.
So this cat Ginger, it was years ago in like 1917, climbed to the top of Mount Taranaki unaided. He just followed a group of tourists to the top, and they've got a photograph proving his feat of him standing by the crater. And something like 200 cat years later, Sir Edmund Hillary conquered Mount Everest, probably inspired by Ginger.
I'm not the biggest fan of cats. I don't think cats are good for nature.
My brother has a cat. She used to be real mean. She was not a fun cat, but she had a growth on her face, and we got the growth off, and now she's so affectionate. She's like a totally different cat, so nice.
This one story that I heard of down from deep in the Marlborough Sound, on this island, Stephen's Island. It was the late 1800s, like 1890 I think it was, where this lighthouse keeper and his cat Tibbles had moved to the island. But as well as the lighthouse keeper and his cat, there was also these native birds, the Stephen Island's wren. And within a year of the lighthouse keeper and his cat Tibbles moving to the island, the cat had killed off the whole of these native birds, forced them to go into extinction. It's like a genocidal cat, just wanting the island for himself and his keeper.